This is Marcus Davis, first time, Steve Jones.
Way to go. Okay, so since we have kind of been talking about it a little bit, it's the AIY Vision Kit from Google for the Raspberry Pi Zero W. It does not include the Raspberry Pi Zero W or the camera. It's like $45 for a box. And
it's a cardboard box.
Well, like I said, the daughter card that it comes with, the people that they partnered with have something that's like $150. So $45 seemed like a good deal. That's why I bought it.
Does the lens come with it or not?
The lens does come with it. The cardboard box comes. All the cables come.
The card that contains the chip does not. The lens does.
Card that contains the chip.
The CCD chip, the camera.
Oh, the camera, right. The camera does not come with it. The lens is just a...
The lens probably costs as much as the CCD.
I was going to say, these days, that's for sure.
The lens is just a little magnetic. I bet it costs some money because it's a magnetic lens.
That's a fixed focus lenses? Yeah. Can you get them different focal lengths?
I would imagine you could. This is what they provide right now. You need to provide the SD card too. They don't give you an SD card, but they do give you Raspberry and with all the stuff already set up. So all you have to do is download their version of Raspberry to do it.
So what is the Vision bonnet?
That is the thing that actually makes it worth $45. That's
So what's it?
it's its own independent microcontroller on top that sits on top of the Pi Zero. The Pi Zero interacts with it. It's doing all the heavy work of image detection, image recognition, image detection, all the fun, happy stuff that it doesn't need to be connected. In fact, it's not connected to the internet. It doesn't need to be connected to the internet to do anything because everything is on that.
You're just providing power here?
Yeah, I'm just providing power. And their install also starts up a DHCP server, so I can SSH into it without needing to connect or anything, as long as I'm on the wire. So it's emulating Ethernet. So, which I thought that was a plus too. But you keep hearing it beep. It's running a demo. When it first starts, it runs a demo called Joy Detect. And right now, it's bluish. That means it's detecting unhappy faces.
What?
It's pointed at Jim.
It's pointed at Jim. Look, he's smiling. Now it's red.
Oh,
It can be faked out, in other words. But that seems kind of bad.
I thought it's the same thing, but I'm not here to argue. So that is not webcast. So it basically thinks Art's happy. Art looks pretty happy.
That
he's
is,
smiling, he's grinning.
that's
That's as close as you get to grin for Art. I don't know.
No cast
He's trying to
devices.
smile. Oh, there you go.
Hang on.
It shows up after a second.
there is a slight delay apparently.
Yeah, it's not necessary. It's also supposed to be counting how many faces it sees and doing an average. And once you hit 85% happy faces, it will play a happy tune for you.
Oh, is there a speaker in the thing?
A little buzzer.
Oh, okay.
And it can't.
I'm not sure we could muster that here.
Cast to the desktop. I can't find my casting. Wireless disconnecting.
It looks like an
Actually, what it isn't telling you is it's routing all of your network through it to Google and then back.
It's true, you said you do
Yes.
HCPs, what are you connected to? You have dueling DHCPs?
Let's see if that's the problem. If that's the problem, I'll plug it into this. This one will still get the same.
Do you have just a straight power supply someplace that you can plug that into?
I was going, I said, need to SSH into it.
No, okay.
I don't know if I do or not.
No, it still says there's no casting locations.
Just the library,
No, this one's mine. This one's my bug. This doesn't work. I guess we'll have to break out the. I don't know what we'll have to do.
You're connected to the right Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that was the first thing I checked.
I think we have demons in our Wi-Fi. At least that's what it's, library Wi-Fi.
There's a picture change.
Yeah, it's good. It's coming on.
Demo God's left.
They always work for me, perfect.
No past destinations found.
Anybody
Past
here?
desktop. No past destinations found.
Supposed to be called meeting TV. I never paid attention.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be called. Okay, let's do this. Space. Not gonna see the pictures. Oh man.
Oh, you're gonna do it with the share mode.
Very good.
That was me, just checking. Cool.
Don't know what.
recognize that.
Using Chrome, not Firefox, right?
That's not a. I wonder if we've got the VGA cable in here.
The adapter? I got the adapter for the HDMI.
Isn't
what you
that
want?
in the drawer over there?
Yeah.
We got the VGA. The VGA's here.
Okay.
But I
let's
got
try-
the, yeah, whichever one's easiest, I guess.
Let's try that. There's a VGA cable.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're gonna connect.
Okay, that's going over here.
Nice. Oh, man. We're used to the snow.
We'll go old school.
Okay.
Now, I'm probably gonna have to restart this computer to get it to go over there.
Seems like Unix has a little more trouble with that than Windows, although I've had trouble with it with Windows.
So,
Are you running Linux on that?
yeah. There's 3 different demos, 4 different demos if you count the Joy demo that starts up. There's cat, dog, person demo. And that looks at individual images and says it's a cat, it's a dog, it's a person. There's object detection, which is supposed to detect a few, about 1,000 different objects. That works pretty good. And then there's the face detection, which works very similar to Joy Detected, but it just detects faces.
Mhm.
Does it identify? I mean, can you teach it, this is me, and use it as authentication?
Yes, but I haven't learned how to do that yet.
That's creepy. That is definitely creepy.
Well, it's already in your phone.
Yeah,
And your PC, it's an option if you've got a webcam.
It's changed to the weirded out color.
do I?
It's changed to the weirded out color.
Pointed at somebody different.
It reaches soul.
Oh, come on. Seriously? Now you're going to tell me you can't find the other monitor.
It's being paid.
There's sometimes a function key for turning on external thing
Possible
across the
there's,
top.
possible there are two PC inputs, two VGA inputs on that thing.
No.
That looks like there's a VGA and an HDMI.
I don't think that's an HDMI.
Just turn it on.
What is it?
I don't know. Looks like an eSATA to me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
On the back?
It's a USB with an extra lump in it.
Oh. Usually not a whole lot of problems doing this. I don't know what.
Curse you.
Mine just switches right over. At least on HDMI.
Yeah, mine. I usually have to restart it.
Try Control Alt F1 and then go back in F7 or 8 or whatever.
There's my snow blower option. That's my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Got that covered.
You haven't trained the deer to clear your driveway yet?
No,
They just pack down a little spot.
Yeah. Which become nice and icy after a couple of days.
Yeah, I just got an old Jeep. The hill in front of my house is literally like, it's 45 degrees. And I haven't shoveled any snow. I've just been driving the Jeep to work. Put it in four-wheel drive at the bottom of the hill and it's fine. And so now my car is stranded at the top of the hill. I don't dare try to get down now. Solid ice.
Sunday it'll be melted.
Yeah, I figure as much. Then I got to swap the two and drive the other car for a while.
Yeah.
that's the 5 megapixel. You can.
Well, that's cool.
That's beyond the viewing capability of this viewer.
Well, look, Windows worked.
Of course it did, Frank said. That's follows my conjecture that there may be an issue, and we've run into that before. It may be having to use Firefox.
Are we waiting for it to boot now or what?
No, it's ready. I just don't have SSH or anything.
No putty. Everybody's got putty portable.
I don't use Windows enough to have any of that stuff on here.
You should have SSH. Is that all you need?
No, he's running Windows now. He's not
Yeah.
running.
I think there's an SSH. Just recently just got SSH.
I think there's an SSH client.
There is. The question is, do you have it installed?
It's not recognized as a,
Recognized.
I think you've got to install the Unix.
Well,
Bash.
SigWin, something like SigWin.
No. Microsoft has a SSH server as one of the Windows services, and you can install that, and that installs the client.
Okay.
But it's
Well, SigWin will also work.
yeah, Ubuntu for Windows or something. That's what you're talking
no,
about.
no, there are just some basic Unix services that are available. Like Finger, you can run a Fingerd on Windows now.
Okay.
I give Windows a finger a lot.
I was gonna say.
I actually thought I had Bash installed on this.
Since Leroy's here, you can say that. Or not, since Frank's not here.
For those who don't know what I'm
Frank
talking
usually
about,
comes late if he comes.
the Finger Daemon was a service running on Unix that let you know about other users. You could finger a user in another machine, and if they had a file in their home directory called .vacation, it would print out the contents of that.
That was very, very popular in the 80s.
It's how John Carmack told everybody what he was doing.
Well, a lot of people told other folks what they were doing that way.
A lot of people told people off that way. Yep. I don't know what I'm doing. What should I be doing?
We,
I would just install Putty Portable, honestly.
That's pretty cool.
PortableApps.com. I trust them.
Can you do this on a phone?
I'm not even sure if I could do this here because I think my pictures are all on the other partition.
well, you can always go into Linux and prod them over into another partition.
Disappeared from my phone. Mr. Peter. Is the cast behind there?
That is
The
a
cast is right here.
Oh, that's why I can't see the cast.
That's
I
why
was
you
trying
can't
to cast to it.
There's a SSH
I was gonna swap out the
setup.exe
computers.
file to set it up on Windows, and you have to select the client only if you just want the client instead of the server. Where SSH setup.exe didn't say that.
If you search for Putty up there at the top, that they all run individually, but the portable app lets you
The
pick and
portable
choose.
app.
This is just an application launcher or?
Portable apps are a bunch of, for the most part, Linux applications because they're open source and very self-contained generally. They're written to run off of a thumb drive. There's
They don't need to
Putty,
be
which is nice
installed.
and small. There's OpenOffice, there's GIMP. There's a really big,
Just one application at a time.
now you can run multiples.
Operating system.
They run as EXEs, they're running in Windows. And if you've got a fast flash drive, they're pretty usable. And like Putty is tiny, so that whole thing fits in memory and doesn't care. But it creates a single folder that has everything in it, and you can copy that to another machine. We actually,
Portable.
yeah. We use it at work. Some of our clients have SFTP servers, and so we use WinSCP Portable. It's installed on one server, and anybody that connects to it gets a list of all the clients and everything.
Yeah, is it off the screen to the left? Is it enough where you can see what it's saying?
It's not saying anything.
Well, it's maybe it's center it. Drag it to the center. Okay.
It's still not
There's the
saying
cursor.
anything.
Yeah, it's still not saying anything. Network error
You
connection.
don't have the network connection to the PI yet.
Father
The
Bonner.
IP address of the bank.
Yeah, that was the IP address.
Sometimes
of,
change, it's fixed. Or
It's fixed.
Can you ping it?
1010s,
Yeah, the Wi-Fi's 1010.
but you're off of the Wi-Fi now?
To be able to connect to both.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it actually installed the. It doesn't look like it recognizes the
What?
Pi as
Oh,
Would it be wireless or USB?
USB.
Then you want to open network devices and settings.
So I don't have drivers to make that work. Okay. I don't know what to do. This is a complete bust. Because this isn't working. Let's.
Do you have HDMI on that laptop?
let's
Yeah,
try-
that was
Oh,
the
no,
connection.
no. We are not installing updates. No.
It begs to differ with you.
But it's easy. It'll just take a second.
Yeah, right. No, a month later.
It just beat me the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Beat me bad.
Do not turn off their
do you have
computer.
any video of the work or something?
It went
Do not
away.
unplug and turn it off your computer.
Here's Mike.
Here's Mike. He's our newbie from last week.
Cookies.
All right.
He's writing us now.
He's found out how to get along. It's payola, we call it in this group.
Yes.
I don't know what to
So
do
you can
though.
take off, Kenny.
Linux isn't recognizing that monitor and Windows isn't recognizing
I'll have
the
one of those cookies.
The network.
network.
Not supposed to.
Of course.
Right? You connect
It's always the
directly to
first one.
the monitor. EA port. Under.
Or wait, white.
Yeah, if we eat them, they'll tell us what's in them.
Does your laptop have DisplayPort or anything else?
It doesn't
I
matter.
mean,
I'm not
butterscotch or
supposed to eat these either.
I'm
but-
not supposed to eat them.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. Oh, I know what you're saying. Like maybe it doesn't like going through this adapter thing or whatever.
Boy, that's tempting.
butterscotch.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you want to go directly. Thank you. Shredded
It looks like
down.
butterscotch.
I don't know what to do.
Do one more.
That's next week.
See, having the Chromecast was supposed to make life easy.
You want to try it again?
We could try
So
it.
you have two nets.
They're almost like crepes.
Yeah.
You have the Wi-Fi net, they have the Chromecast on it. You've also got a separate net for the
Is it there?
USB, right?
Yes,
So
yes. So they should,
it should still see it,
yeah, it should play nicely, but it's not.
unless there's a default route problem.
Yeah, you can, let's try it again. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to try. We'll just crack this one up to the curse of the library.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting there to be problems. I really wasn't. Not with this one.
Thinking your
This one
steno,
should have been easy.
foot pedals.
Yeah.
They're coming up with that foot now. So,
Oh, yeah,
Well,
I've seen them.
yeah, I
They're weird.
Batting 700 is still pretty good.
Yeah, well, this one still should have been easy.
You managed to put off the automated garbage can.
I'm seeing the
I
new
think
TV on the
Trash
Linux
can
box here.
conveyance.
Yeah. I'm
Would you
not
like
seeing,
to swap out
Oh.
laptops?
all my pictures and everything are still on this, and I can't show you if I did that, I couldn't show you the picture that it's trying to recognize so that we could see how close it actually is to recognizing the picture that I
Oh,
want to
this
show
is the
you.
one where it pops in great art pictures and says, this looks like you, this looks like you. Napoleon, etc. Caesar.
So it morphs a picture into,
It doesn't actually morph it.
It doesn't.
It's just,
Oh,
does
oh,
it comparison?
Somebody just connected.
I got it. I got it. I got it. It just popped up.
That's me.
No, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Oh,
I'm
he's
stealing
got,
it.
we're seeing Jim, but you said you had an epiphany.
There you are.
There it is. It just sort of started working.
You knocked it loose.
One more, and that's it. Can't have any more.
I can't take those home. So
Okay, so
So that's a clue. Now I open it up, then you can see it.
that doesn't make sense, Jim.
Yeah?
Where's that?
And?
The MD,
This is Microsoft we're talking about here.
Do what?
we,
we'll avoid seeing this message. Always should
we'll
send
take
you
dumb
sheet
block
rock.
as part of the.
Google just
Is that
fessed
using
up to the
putty?
fact that Chromecast will. kill
Just
your
use them
network.
wherever you had.
A Chromecast and an Android device on the same network will kill your Wi-Fi.
Oh, is that right?
They finally fessed up to it a couple days ago.
Yeah, they announced
And
well,
the fix was supposed to come today, but I haven't seen
yes,
it.
it has
And it
not.
was fixed to Android.
That could explain a lot.
So if that's the problem, then I'm sorry.
I don't think it was you. I mean, my phone's connected to it too, so. Okay. So we need to get my head back on so I know what I'm doing. We to start the thing.
I'm having a little difficulty seeing that fine print. Can you make it larger?
Not easily.
Actually, you can.
I can.
Control plus.
Control plus.
I was amazed to recently learn that
It's
that
not-
works.
I can't see it either very well.
Yeah, it works in a console. It's great. Terminal, not console.
So
Oh, yeah.
Control plus, yeah.
Control. It's Control Shift and.
Oh, not in Windows.
You can't see that, we're right, Charles.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you familiar with Linux?
Somewhat, familiar with Raspberry Pi. What, you running Raspbian?
Yes.
Just the light version or the?
No, it's a full version. This is actually the version that Google gives us because it already had the AIY for voice and the AIY for vision already installed on it. So I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Are you recording this or do you need?
Yeah, it's all recorded for posterity. You know.
You need to tilt that up a little bit if you're gonna hit that screen.
The screen is probably not that terribly visible anyway. I need to get one of those,
Yeah, you can't see it. I mean, there's a lot of glare.
Okay,
It's hard to see on this.
hard to do a screen
So
capture to a camera.
There's
Like-
kids in China watching this right now getting a real chuckle.
I know. Those crazy Americans, what are they doing? So first thing we've got to do is tell it to kill the the demo that it's running so that we can use the camera. And then we're going to use, let's see, we want to do object detection, which would be object detection Python, and our input file will be home slash pi slash AIY.
just, you can't tab to complete the line?
Nope. Yep. Oh, wow. What the heck did I just do?
You hit tab twice.
I hit tab twice. Interesting. cat. One JPEG. An output of what this does, it will detect something, and then it will make a new picture, and it'll put boundary boxes around what it actually detected. If I did everything right.
Okay.
I didn't do everything right. Two of these things. I did learn something new. You know about Bang Bang, right?
Yeah.
To run the
Yeah,
last command.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Bang Bang.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
When the Ringo bang $ gives you the last argument of the last command, so if you have some file name that you want to move to the next thing.
Word
That's what I just-
0.94.
Yes. So it thinks that the first picture in the cat directory, which happens to be that, is giving it a score of 0.94, which is pretty high confidence that it's a cat. And it even says, hey, you're a cat. So that's the object detection. That will also work with people and dogs. So if we change this to dog, it should say that the first picture in the dog directory.
Oh, ain't that cute?
It should say that that is also a dog. But see, it only gave that a confidence score of 87.
There's an awful lot of face in that
That
picture.
dog has an awful big head, you know what I'm saying?
This one's kind of interesting.
Can we see the boundary box? Which dog did it catch?
Yes. Yes, we can.
How can you not love a dog like that?
Maybe we can. So it stores the images on the Raspberry Pi itself. Dog. Oh, I told it to put it in the cat.
Mhm.
I told it to put the dog in the cat picture. So
Okay.
you can kind of barely see
Yeah.
the red boundary box. So it saw the first big-headed dog, not the dog in the back.
But its boundary box is picking up the whole dog's body.
Yep, it's picking up everything.
I think that is a dog within this.
Yeah, but you see its confidence level is not, it's good, but it's not.
87 is pretty good.
This one's a good one though. I like this particular
More
picture.
confident than I usually am.
Yeah. It knows stuff. So this
I mean,
one
if I
here
saw that, oh yeah.
is a dog wearing
Dog
a
in
paper
Cleveland.
bag. Now,
It's like a little corgi.
yeah. Now I'll show you what it actually says with image detection. You notice that it said that this corgi is a cat, but it's only 62% sure
So it's a cat.
that it's a cat. And if we look again, because I've just rewrote that file, it's picked up. There's its boundary box of what it
That body
saw.
does look like a cat.
It does sort of look.
cattish, yeah.
When we're looking at, is it a cat, dog, or person? Cat is the first thing that it tries to decide, and then dog,
Okay.
and then person. So it's kind of a hierarchy, and it doesn't realize that it actually is looking at a dog.
So if it's under 50% confidence, it drops down to looking for dog. And so it tried to recognize this as a cat. It got over 50%, said that it's a cat.
I think this is a cat.
Yeah, like ideally, you wanted to just check all of them and give you a percentage of each one.
That's
Yeah,
what
that would be
that's what the next demo actually does. The next demo actually, the next demo does not put a boundary box. It will not show you what it actually sees.
Point that at Art and see what it says.
Thanks, Jim.
Which one's it closest to, a dog, a cat, or?
There is this one here called image classification, which does more or less, it will tell you 3 things that it believes it is.
Get me to type more than 6 characters properly is hard.
So this one doesn't have an output file. It doesn't tell you what it actually sees. It says, basically number 1, 85% chance that it's a corgi. And then its second guess at 11% is still a corgi. And then it kind of went, maybe a chow chow, but that's the one with the bag over its head. So,
But now.
I think that's probably a corgi, but I'm not
it's
sure.
Two different corgis though.
Yeah, Pembroke and Cardigan.
Yeah,
One's black.
I had no idea that there were
Black and white ones and chestnut.
I had no idea there were.
I used to have corgi, 2 corgi mixes.
But
You and the Queen of England.
Yeah, Dorgies and corgis.
you see the difference in the demo. So this one was more generic, looking across 1,000 different objects, trying to figure out what it is. Where
The chestnut corgi is a better disposition than the dark corgi.
so
That's racist.
it's racist.
It's rare.
It's a racist corgi. So this one here, I have a bunch. Let's see what it says here. Now remember, this isn't connected to the internet or anything. It's figuring this all out on its own. It says this picture here is the picture that I said. 63% chance that it's a golden retriever. So it's not 100% right. I mean, that's a bunch of puppies. It should have said.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of puppies.
It should have said
Did it give
this is a bunch of puppies.
Did it give a bounding box?
No, this.
Is it possible that it picked one out of there?
And in fact, if I did this same picture with the other demo, it only picks 2. There's a bunch of puppies, you can see them, but the bounding box actually only picks up 2.
That's a huge litter. 10 puppies.
Yeah, I was expecting it to say, there's a bunch of puppies or something. So I'm pretty.
It should pick whatever object is the largest detectable object in the frame.
Nice. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that's not exactly what it does.
What happens if you give it a picture of a snake?
Oh, snake?
Yeah, does it say this is just the dog's tail?
What did you?
It's the dog's tail. Here, let's look at. So this is the picture. I told it to do a bounding box of this picture again. And what did it say? It said
8.
Dog. 83% that it's a dog. The boundary box says it's a better boundary box than I got last night, because yesterday it said that there were only 2. So.
Is the number that comes with it how many objects it detects? So it's dog 3.
Dog 3.
Why would you get different results running this 2 times? What changed? I don't know. It should be exactly the same.
It should be exactly the same. But yesterday, I swear it only picked up 2 dogs.
Different demo?
I promise you, yesterday it only picked up 2 dogs.
Well,
They-
we can
they-
see
they
what the
are-
bounding, run it again.
Well,
Let's
it's
see if
learning,
the
it's
bounding box
improved.
changes.
Yeah, oh, they're-
Just hit the
It's
up arrow.
self-aware.
Yes, that is scary.
That's scary.
You think Google would have sort of whittled down the level of capability of the software in order to get it on a Raspberry
Same
Pi?
bounding
as
box
opposed
that
to-
time.
Same thing.
They probably whittled down the software. If you
Well, it's
probably
got-
go out and do it online or something, it would probably,
Got a co-processor, right?
It shells everything off to that board,
that little board, right?
that daughter board,
But how
yeah.
much memory, I mean, that thing can't have all.
It doesn't take a lot of memory. It's
Do
just,
that- do that.
it's just recursive.
Yeah, but to get down to the difference between corgis and cardigans,
Yeah.
Well, that was the other
Pembroke-
demo. though.
Pembroke,
That was
Corgi, and
the
the
1,000
Corgi.
object demo. So different algorithm, different process to get to that.
I'm just trying to think, how small can you squish that lookup table
Oh,
and still have it be anywhere near reliable?
I don't know what happened to my pictures from yesterday. 'Cause I told it a bunch of pictures. I was hoping there was a picture there that showed the original boundary box. Some of these pictures, it didn't like at all. Like, it threw out errors that said not 256 colors or the size of the picture was too small for it to even do anything with. So
And that's on their demo.
that's on their demo. Yeah.
And it's nice that they give you things that fail.
I kind of, this one here,
Assuming they intended it to fail.
some of these pictures I found myself, so it's not all their stuff. Some of these pictures I grabbed myself because I wanted to see how it worked.
I
You
thought
know?
you meant in the cats and dogs.
Oh, no. No, I wanted to see how some of this stuff worked. So this is the image classification demo again, which is 1,001 objects that's supposed to classify. This is what it's going to classify.
Dalmatian.
It came up with some pretty interesting things.
It's a Skittle.
It says
Skittles.
that it's possibly a strainer.
That's not bad.
I can see that actually. But
But
It's-
it nailed cup with,
yeah,
Blood, yeah.
95%.
That's pretty good.
cup was way up there. I don't know if it's a coffee mug or a cup, but either way,
There's an empty.
there it is.
Here.
Security guy here. Watch it.
Careful.
Okay.
Careful.
He's a big.
Actually, I don't think that's in use anymore, is it?
you pull the line, you
No,
interrupt
maybe
his-
not.
We're not using this cable, right?
I don't think I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so confused anymore.
Don't rock the boat.
Yeah, like, oh, you didn't like that because that is JPEG in caps. Maybe. I still didn't like that.
It's IKEA.
What error message again?
IKEA table,
Halo
150.
And let's just try a different. Some of these pictures, it doesn't like some of these pictures.
Are they just too big? Is the image just too big?
Maybe there may be some watermarking or something in some of them, considering where I got them from. I just,
To prevent this sort of thing, right?
that's it. It's giving me all kinds of weird.
iSpotty might have some of this image recognition stuff in it.
There we go.
There's an option.
So I told it to recognize what that is. It came up with rocking chair, folding chair, and diner table chair,
Dining chair, dining table.
dining table. It came up with chair.
Yeah, that's right. Everything else.
It's not the right chair, but it did come up with chair.
How it got the writing chair though, I can't imagine.
The
Folding chair,
back
either one.
is a
Yeah.
common
It's
shape.
a dining
for
kitchen
rocking
table chair,
chair.
it looks like.
It looks like a dining chair to me, but
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no rockers on it.
there's no folding to it. I'm not sure how it came up with either one of those.
Number two, the third result should be the first result. But
No,
No,
it's dining
Table.
table, not dining chair.
it says table.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Yeah, no. We
Dining
Should
table
say
or
dining
table
chair. Kitchen chair.
dining
I missed
table and
that.
chair are two very different things.
That's
Well,
exactly
see what
right.
happens with the peanut butter jar.
Okay. I did peanut butter jar yesterday. I forget what it told me it was.
Delicious.
Delicacy.
I pulled a bunch of different chairs out off of the internet just because they were so different. I wanted to see how it.
Yeah.
It's such a different thing. See, again, it says this is a rocking chair, and it's pretty sure that it's a rocking chair.
Or a throne. Means something else entirely for throne.
Studio couch or bed. I can actually kind of see that being more of a, because it's got that big comfy cushion on it.
Well, a throne would fit better, wouldn't it?
It's not a rocking chair, that's for sure. You want to try the peanut butter?
Sure.
Sure.
I forget what it said. I tried peanut butter yesterday. It didn't say anything about peanut butter, though. That's all I know. I think it was so far off on the mark on this one. But all its percentages were pretty low too.
Oil filter, yeah. Similar.
Coffee mug.
Yeah, you notice its percentage for coffee mug is like 7%. I mean, it's small. Candle taper wax light 12%. Oil filter is 23%. It's pretty low. It's
So does this have an SDK for playing with the
Jar?
training yourself? So you can give, you
Peanut
feed it
butter's
down
kind
in
of
boxes and identifications of what this thing is, and it learns to feed that back to you?
yes. I'm still learning how to.
Is this TensorFlow or is it something else?
Yes, I think that's the company that they partnered up with. Yes. Yes, because I remember reading that somewhere. And I think that was the only reason why I decided that this was worth spending any money on, was because of this. So number 7 here is a Raspberry Pi, and it's a Model 3 Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
We will see what it says. I will guarantee it won't say Raspberry Pi.
Hey, Jeremy, you want a cookie? Butterscotch.
It is an oscilloscope, and it's actually pretty highly confident that it's an oscilloscope.
That's
Look at the
for
image
audio,
again
isn't
there.
It is just wrong.
Yeah, for an audio signal.
Yeah, it's got that little black screen right there. Maybe.
It's got a waveform on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. That's a good point.
It's got a what?
It's got a little waveform on one of the chips.
Wave, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
So it sees a sine wave.
Okay. But this one here, this is an Arduino. This is,
It's got an infinity, so
Yeah,
yeah.
it's sinusoidal.
It's a time machine.
it will say pretty much the same thing. I think it ranks hard disk a little bit higher, but it'll say that is an oscilloscope too. I don't know why it's classifying them like that. Oscilloscope, scoreboard, and a radio, a wireless radio. I have no idea. I really don't.
I guess that's the only object that has a sample that's kind of like that.
For a paid version, it's more accurate, or?
This is it. This is what we got.
Okay.
But do you think?
Well, if you
train
train it online though, you've got a much bigger database to work with.
Yes,
Right.
yes. If we had it online and if we were going through that one, there's a service that I know of that will do something like this for.
Yeah, Google's got a vision API.
You could put an
a picture and it'll
elephant
feed you back another picture with bounding boxes with labels on it.
probably be able to.
What would happen if we took that image and ran it through Google?
There was a Google does that?
There's an online API for doing that. You feed it a picture and it will give you XML back telling you what the bounding boxes are and what you found.
Huh.
Microsoft has the same thing.
Okay.
It actually has one that will actually tell you what, like for celebrities, they'll tell you who the celebrity is.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was one that I was using. It wasn't either one of those two, and you drop the picture in, and it would come back and tell you what it was.
So could you put an old celebrity like Mary Pickford, Gus Fairbanks?
Yeah, but I thought that.
Someone that's
I thought that-
80 years
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably,
it's
yeah. I
hold
think
up
they had to
somewhere.
have them first.
Saw a demo.
Like you
Just
could
trying
put like
to find
Beyonce.
Tim
walking
Cook
around.
in here,
Just
like
got
Tim
the camera
Cook, you
showing
recognize Tim Cook.
Beyonce.
Yeah, yeah, those, all of those.
Mega stars.
Yeah, the new,
Up to date.
yeah, the up to date ones I think they put in.
Guess I was unaware of that.
Even Gary.
I knew that
Gary
there. I
Coleman,
knew
some
that
of
there
those.
were online
Some old,
databases.
yeah,
off the radar
yeah,
screen.
Yeah, I have to try that one day.
So it says dining table. Pretty much, it's pretty much a dining
For a
table.
desk, either one of those fits pretty well.
But its confidence is pretty low, really. It's not real sure.
Was
Doesn't
that
have
because
anything
it's
to scale
got
it
two
to.
that are very similar? It's splitting the difference somehow
Yeah.
or another?
So that demo it ran when it booted, that was changing color based on the smiles.
Yes.
Is there a video output to that demo? Can you watch this?
No. There's a lot of things that I think really need to be integrated into this before. I don't think this was really ready because I bought it. A couple days after I bought it, I got messages saying, we're not selling these anymore. If you want to bring it back, bring it back. Because I don't think they were actually ready for this. And I messed around with it for like 2 weeks with the old camera. I actually had to go and buy a version 2 camera to make this thing actually work.
Really?
Yes. So not only was it a $45 kit, it was a $25 camera. It was another $10 for the SD card and another $10 for the controller. It was
Got $100.
it was right at $100. I mean, for the hassle, I could have bought the actual board from the actual company that. And it's not exactly 100% right. I mean, I was hoping, because it's got some GPIO on the back of it, I was hoping to be able to program it to look for lines or QR codes or something and have it drive the robot around based on the QR codes.
What's 14? What's it come up with on 14?
14. Nowhere close to what that is.
Looks kind of like an R2D2 or something.
It's a PN. Is it a JPEG?
I don't know what. An espresso machine.
Might be.
Binocular. Crash helmet.
As you can, I mean,
But it's still low. It's not-
when it's really not real sure what it is, its
It's really
percentages
gravity.
are pretty
Yeah,
low.
it's not even.
It's a random number generated.
You saw that number, you would say, you throw that out. Yeah.
So is there a threshold at like 50% where it,
This demo, I think, because of the way it works and it prints out the percentages, the probability percentages to you, it lets you actually decide if it's right or not.
I see.
So you could probably take this demo and modify it so that, you know, anything below 30 just is wrong. Just
Yeah.
forget it. It's not right. Or whatever you actually finally decide, because there were a couple of them that were like, one of them was pretty high in confidence, but it was just wrong, so you would have to retrain it for that particular image.
Now, is this open source so you can go into it and modify it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Python. It's just a Python script.
No,
So you can-
the code that's on that daughter board,
Oh,
can you get to that?
I don't know about that.
Probably just feeding it neural nets and letting it.
Yeah. There's a bunch of, Google says where they're at in their handy healthy thing that isn't very handy or healthy. It says there's the code for the joy detector, which is the smile thing.
This is all in
This-
Python?
Yeah. This, I think this is,
TensorFlows.
I think this,
TensorFlows, Python.
I think this is part of how you set up a new image to have it compiled into the thingamabob. Project complete, but it's not complete. There's missing things. So yes, TensorFlow, that's where I saw that at. I can honestly say that at this point, it's actually a little bit beyond what I know, because I thought it was going to be a little bit different than what it is. I want to be able to read QR codes and say, turn left or right based on the QR code that it sees.
Oh, no.
Do I?
No. I want to be able to get a camera, and if it's my boss or his boss, bring a beeper.
Yeah,
The door's going to open in 20 seconds.
Aim the little nerve cannon, says, right? Well,
Yeah.
Actually, as you walk around the room.
At one point, I worked for a company, pretty good sized company, and they fired my boss, who I liked, hired another guy who I disliked. And I had a webcam on my computer. I was running motion. So anytime there was any motion in this camera, it played the Windows error sound. He worked there for months and never got a connection of, when I come out of my office, I hear the Windows error sound.
Sounds like he wasn't the brightest candle on the cake also.
That's right.
Yep. So there's a little buzzer. They don't really explain the buzzer, but they do give you a demo. So I guess you could figure out how to make it work from that point.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not very
probably
loud.
tone and duration.
That's all it really is. No, it's not real loud. You're right. It's not.
It's this big around. So.
It's a little teeny tiny thing. It's
So it's a little piezoelectric enunciator?
yeah, that's all it is.
What's the connection between the daughter board and the Pi? Did you have to solder it, or is it
Okay.
weird ribbon cable?
Nope. It's you've got to solder header pins onto the Pi,
Okay.
and then it just plugs into the header pins. That's kind of what I said too. I mean, how much do those stupid header pins really cost that they couldn't include a set in here? I mean, that would have been, if I hadn't had some, that would have been another couple $1 expense on top of an already expensive toy.
Yeah, and that takes it out of the toy realm.
Yes.
if you need it connected?
No, that had the connector on it, but
It may
the Pi
have
Zero
been-
doesn't have it on it. And then,
Well, worse yet, you've got to drive someplace to get the pins if you don't have them. So,
or order them from China, yeah.
or from China, wait 6 months.
I got them from Micro Center, so I've got a lifetime supply. I think
Let's see.
I've got stacks and stacks of them, but
They just announced the I0 WH, which
Yeah.
has the header soldered on.
yeah,
already.
I saw
Yeah.
It's worth the money.
that. Yeah, it is
How much more expensive is it?
$5.
Well, the one I saw was more than that. It was double the cost, but
Really?
the header's a bitch to solder. Well, it's a $5 here, $10, I guess. It was
Yeah.
$18 worth of header.
The
Just buy one every time, so they're $5.
yeah, I buy them for $5, and I've got stacks of those things, and I can solder, so it doesn't really bother me. Of course, if you look at the bottom of this one, you can see a couple of spots I've missed. But
You didn't
If you've got a solder sucker, that helps too.
if you got a
Erase
nice
your
little,
errors.
if you got a nice little set of clamps or whatever that can actually hold it steady, that really helps. But it's an expensive kit, and Micro Center are emailing everybody that bought one that said, you can bring it back because we're not 100% confident with this thing yet. Kind of should have been a clue.
So you're gonna send it back?
No, I'm keeping it because,
We're ragging on it for not being accurate, but if you'd seen this thing 2 years ago,
oh, it
my
would have
God.
been.
How does it do that?
And really, when you think about it, it's still pretty neat because it's not connected to the internet. It's taking guesses on what it was programmed, the 1,000 things that it was programmed with, and it's giving you plausible things most of the time.
Is there any information on how it's deciding between the 1,000 things?
I have not.
Is that a single neural net with 1,000 outputs or 1,000 neural nets with one output?
The AIY projects Google website, that's all the information I've been able to find about it. So,
Can you see the list of its possibilities?
You're talking about the thousands
Yeah.
images?
Yeah, if it's
I don't see
if it's
that.
pushing in its list of detection routines. Does it look like a dog? Does it look like a cat? Does it look like a chair? Then somewhere that ought to be visible.
Yeah.
I don't see that anywhere.
Is there a repository for the actual projects, for the individual
There is a Google.
training things?
There was a Google repository. I haven't looked.
This would be like a GitHub thing or what?
What happens if you rotate the image?
I don't know. GitHub can't refuse to connect.
Always winning.
Uh-oh.
We're
Luck's run out.
we're on that again, are we? That's a good question.
It seems to me that you're dealing with a condensed algorithm of data.
Uh-huh.
It's not really a picture. It's a collection of data.
Okay.
That data has to be interpreted into an image.
Make a signature of the image.
And that image then has to be compared to another image. Now, we do this naturally,
Right.
but a machine can't go through and say, oh, a two in this position on the data field is enough to make this happen.
Well, it takes the image. I know a little about what it's doing. It takes the image and makes a two-dimensional array. And then the latest tool that makes these things work is called convolutional analysis. So they have a series of, so you have a thing that's 200 by 200, and you take a series of two-dimensional filters that are like 5 by 5, and you pass it through that.
Okay.
and you end up with a filtered picture. The parameters on the filter are determined the same way that any other neural net is. It decides if it's better at catness, it turns this one up, and if it's worse at catness, it turns it down. So each one of these filters is learned. And then they have a series of these filters, however many please their fancy. And then the output of those images go through a traditional neural net, which is just taking the inputs and feeding out probably 1,000 different entries, one for each one of the decisions that it makes. And the new wrinkle, the thing that's different, is that convolutional step, the thing that made neural nets suddenly work again. You know, they've been talking about it for decades, but it's only been recently that they've been doing good work.
So
So based on what he said, it shouldn't matter if it's upside down or not.
It should.
Depends on the training.
It should.
Who knows? The
So
answer is who knows.
I just flipped that one. So let's see. It shouldn't matter. It should still come back and say that it's the same as also blah, blah, blah. It did change it though.
Yeah, it moved the
Now
hard
it
drive.
moved it.
How much?
The
When the
confidence.
oscilloscope down.
Yeah.
You inverted the picture and inverted results.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's still not sure what it is. It's
Yes.
still not sure what it is. All those numbers would just be thrown out if you were really doing this the right way. Of just, nope, I don't know what this is. Tell me.
Well, see, I'm thinking that if it was really working at this, it would mirror it, it would rotate it, and it wouldn't rotate it just 90 degrees at a time. It'd be able to rotate it through a fairly high series of iterations.
Yeah, but again, that's probably a high-level system that you want to increase the confidence of. You would have to put that in that'll be part of the algorithm.
And that's probably something that this particular machine couldn't do quickly. I mean, you see it already is pretty slow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It'd bog it down because of
Yeah, I mean, this machine is already a slow. Raspberry Pi Zero is what, a gigahertz? It's not even a gig, is it?
Yeah, 900.
900 megahertz. It's a pretty slow machine in the first place. It's amazing that it does as well as it does.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not amazed. I'm just saying
It could be better.
if rotating the image causes you to get a different set of results, then that's pretty basic.
Yeah.
So your training would just,
Right.
you train on each one of those.
Maybe no, it's not the image rotating, it's rotating the signature of the image. The vector.
Well, let's-
Why don't you do a mirror? Do a mirror on one of them.
Or do something that it's good at, like that dog or something. Turn it upside down.
Something
Turn
that
it over.
found at high
It's upside
confidence,
down. See what it
and then do a mirror on.
Okay, so now it's flipped 180 degrees.
It would be help it fall on the
There's no GitHub repository.
Okay,
for
did it
DIY
mirror
vision
it, or
kit.
did you rotate it 180?
That's what it's called.
180.
And
DIY vision kit?
Same things,
Doesn't exist.
different order.
Yeah. So I guess.
No, same order as last time.
Yeah.
same order as last
So-
one. But it's changed its confidence levels.
Yeah, it's much
Yeah.
higher now.
Yeah, that's
Now,
weird.
What did you do with that?
Flipped it 180 degrees.
Okay.
Do you have the ability to easily mirror it?
To flip it 180 clockwise?
I wonder if it thinks that the header pins are the drive interface.
You know, I bet it does.
Yeah.
I bet it does. Because in that orientation, that would make sense.
If I squint really hard, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, I can kind of see that being a drive interface. Do you want to try like the Corgi?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Something that it's good at.
Flip something that it's good at. Which one was the Corgi? The 7? No.
I Actually, that's
Oh, it should be able to get.
Yeah, try it. Yeah,
Okay.
let's try that one first, normal, and then try it again. I don't think we did that one before.
I don't think we did that one either. That is a dog. I don't have a problem flipping any of them. I mean, they're just generic pictures. Most of them I found on the internet, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh.
It doesn't like that picture anyway.
Oh, darn.
Oh.
That was insane.
Oh.
That's not really clear.
So lower number.
So, let's see what this one says.
Yeah, there is a repo
And come up with Rudolph's.
named, it's under Google's account, it's named DIY Projects Raspberry.
Yeah. Where is it?
The repo for the API.
Beagle, Walker Hound,
Nice.
Fox. So it knows what this one is.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, so let's flip it. Let's save it. Yes, I wanted to save you. I'm sorry, Jeremy. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
it's under like someone asked where the repo is. It's under Google's GitHub account, and it's named AIY Projects Raspbian.
So now it thinks it's a goldfinch.
Okay.
So yeah, apparently it.
Or an Appenzeller.
That's a goose.
Probably cares.
Appenzeller's another dog. A goldfinch is a bird.
And it's all really low though. It's all really low in probability about what that is.
And let's see the picture again.
So the orientation is a big
Flip it all the
deal.
way and, yeah, there you go, try that. Let's try that. Let's see what happens there. That would be-
I can see that. It should be orientation oriented.
Well, yeah, but to his point, I could see where you would want, if you really wanted to do a high confidence thing, you'd want to look at it from all angles.
I guess that would
If you're
be.
doing
Now it's all dogs again.
But it's back to hound. It's not the right kind of hound, but it's back to a hound.
I guess that wouldn't be too hard to implement like yourself. I mean, like you could do a test like this orientation,
Yeah.
this orientation,
Sure.
and take the highest percentage.
Yeah, you do 4 tests. What kind of processor you got?
It would just add 4 times as much
Sure.
to the. I guess it would depend on how fast you need that information.
And, would it improve your reliability? The way it was guessing about the orientation of that electronics board, it guessed it was a disk drive because it expected to see the disk drive vertically oriented or something.
So, border collie. See, it's all pretty low confidence. So when it
Yeah.
Butterfly.
butterfly. So when it's normal, though, I don't know. I think people would recognize it as being what it is, no matter what its orientation is.
Oh, yeah.
So I would think that it should be able to recognize this thing. And we're back to Beagle, Walker Hound, and English Foxhound. So
That's 53. So
yeah,
It'd be higher than 53.
it
That's
should be.
definitely a Beagle.
It's definitely a Beagle.
Well, it doesn't
I think
know
it's
if
'cause,
it's a
like, it's
beagle
all
or a
it's-
walker.
all its sample images are probably right side up.
That may be too. All the 1,000
I mean,
sample
And I
images.
guess like really like if you made it like orientation agnostic, I feel like you'd almost lose like the data point to work off of, because it's like I think like for like I suspect for the majority of cases, like probably like 90% of the cases, the object it's looking at is probably right side up. And so like if it just became like completely orientation agnostic from the start, it would lower the accuracy of those 90% of cases in order to catch the like other 10% of cases, which I mean, I'd suspect that's probably the reason why it does.
Yeah, I think it's basically, what's the use case? What are you trying to do?
And then it's kind of like like presumably whoever's like the guy on the other side who is implementing something that's using it, it wouldn't really be that hard to do multiple checks for orientation based on their use case. So I suspect that might be why they didn't bake it in.
I suppose if you were doing it for a car or something, and there's the possibility that it could catch it at a certain angle, you'd want to train it for that certain angle.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, we see stuff right side up, and so it's going to see stuff right side
Yeah,
up.
like your boards, though, there is no.
No, there's no right side up.
Yeah.
There's right side up to the picture, though.
If you're looking at license plate numbers, why would you look at it upside down?
Unless the car's upside down.
Yeah, I mean, are you looking for upside down cars coming by?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
You gotta be
I think
prepared
it's
for
kind of down
everything.
to niche object.
I agree. If we're looking at cars, you're probably going to pass them by right side up. I'm turning everything off because it's 10 till, and I have a bunch of junk to put away. But that's my demo.
Good, that was excellent.
Cool. Thank you.
That's one of your best, Leroy. Excellent. Anybody have anything for next week? Probably gonna get trash can transport.